Good evening. It's had its fair share of visitors already, yet still more people have been arriving in Margate today for a glimpse of the Banksy artwork.
It's not been smooth sailing, of course, with the original freezer placed in front of it, removed by the council as fly tipping, then replaced, then removed again, but things have really moved on today.
In a moment, we'll cross to James Dunham in Folkestone, where a Banksy appeared in 2014 to find out what it means to the town. First, though, let's go to Joe Caution at the latest Banksy. And Joe, some news for us tonight.
That's right, Matt. The world's eyes have been on 28 Park Place this week to see the Valentine's Day Mascara mural, an important piece of work acknowledging domestic violence. Its future has remained uncertain, though, after a London-based gallery working on behalf of the owner said it could no longer stay here. The original freezer's gone already, and there's concerns among the community that the graffiti would be ripped out too. And it will be. But it's not going far. ITV News Meridian can exclusively reveal tonight that the Banksy will be staying in Margate and it's being donated to Dreamland. It's the most talked about piece of art in the world right now. Thousands of people have travelled to take a picture of this wall over the last 3 days.
Yeah, the longer it can stay here, the better.
If it's been done by Banksy, he obviously wanted it on this wall. So please don't take it away, anybody.
A replacement freezer was doing a great job as a stand-in for the Margate Banksy until that was taken by the council this morning too. But the mural will soon be reunited with the original chest freezer at its new home, just 300 yards away at Dreamland. So when you woke up on Tuesday morning, saw a Banksy nearby, did you ever think you'd be bringing it here?
The second we had that phone call, I was like, yes, we really, really want to keep Banksy here in Margate and we would just love to have it at Dreamland. And Dreamland's free to enter, so we were really excited by the idea that people can come down, during our opening hours, come and see it, and it can really reach as many people as possible. It's such an important message in the piece.
Highlighting violence against women, the message of the artwork was one the homeowner wanted to preserve. As a result, Margate-based domestic violence charity Oasis will be given a significant six-figure sum once a buyer has been found.
It's really important to raise awareness of this issue. Every single day it's still a major issue in our society.
Put simply, it's art that could save lives.
There's a level of controversy around it, but I get up every day and think about how we're going to keep delivering all of our services. So when we know that we're going to get income coming in from kind beneficiaries, then we're not going to argue with that, because there are families out there and children in those families that need our help, and we've got to keep the money rolling in. So we're really grateful.
With Banksy's fans around the world, the artwork is expected to pull in millions of pounds for the seaside town's economy. Cat Neil runs a graffiti shop in Margate. He hopes the mural will grow the street art scene too.
I mean, it would be part of what attracts people to Margate. I think street art and graffiti has a lot to add to an area. When people come down from London, like, one of the first things they notice is the street art and graffiti. And Banksy sort of makes it official, like Margate is the town where it's worth coming to paint street art.
It's hoped the Banksy will be on display at Dreamland when they reopen on April Fool's Day. But it's no joke that a fly-tipped freezer and some graffiti has put Margate on the map.
Joe, great news for Dreamland and Margate that the mural is staying, but it's a massive operation. So what are the plans to kind of move it and get it to its new home, I suppose?
Yeah, it really is, Sangeeta. It's a mammoth job on their hands, and it's understood builders and civil engineers are trying to work out exactly how they're going to manage it, because they can't just rip off the base layer of the graffiti. They're going to have to take the whole wall out, and that could cost up to £100,000 that we've been told. It'll be taken on a flatbed truck, which poses another challenge, because if you come down here with me, Park Place is a single track road. Fortunately, though, they're only having to take it round the corner.
All of which, Joe, sounds really impressive, but what about the family who live there?
Well, this is exactly it, Matt. I've been speaking to the tenants who live in 28 Park Place. Paula, she's a Hungarian nurse, and she lives there with her young son, Oliver, whose birthday it is today. He's turning 10 years old. She wouldn't go on camera, but she told me the last week has been extremely stressful for her. She's been struggling to sleep because of lots of people turning up on her doorstep and just taking pictures of her wall. So it's made even worse by the fact she's heard on social media that the gallery wanted to rip the wall out. She was uncertain what that would mean for her. One art collector's top valuation of the artwork is £2 million. And actually, when Paula woke up on Monday morning, she saw the freezer here and the graffiti on the wall, and she thought she'd be facing the bill to remove the graffiti by her landlady. Fortunately not, I don't think she's going to get the bill, but it's unclear what'll happen to them when they try and do remove this 4-ton brick wall that's worth, well, millions potentially of pounds.
OK, Joe, thanks for now.
Well, let's talk to Julian Usher at a location in the southeast that we're keeping secret because that's where Banksy's original freezer is being stored. You can see it there in the background. Julian, you run the gallery hired by the homeowner, I think. I mean, you can understand why they're very excited about what's going on. But a word just quickly, because Joe was talking about it a moment ago, about the woman who lives in the house. Is she going to be looked after through all this?
Yes, no, completely. We're taking her needs into consideration. So there will be a period of time that she'll have to be rehoused, probably for a few weeks, but we'll make sure, you know, that's all her needs are met. We've had a long chat with her this morning, and yeah, she's very much on board working with us. She's obviously keen for all this to finally come to an end so that she can return back to normal life.
Good to know. Let's move on and talk about the significance of the piece itself. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, it is a significant piece. Banksy is, you know, a massive blue chip British artist. It's probably, you know, after it's having gone viral and all the media and press and so forth, I would say it's probably the most, you know, the world's most recognised piece of art as we speak today. It obviously presents a, you know, a very serious message. Domestic abuse affects families across, you know, across the full gamut, and it's something that obviously the more light that can be thrown on it, the better.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of thinking of it as a piece of art, we can see the freezer in the background. I'm interested to sort of work out how that goes from being an old freezer one day to significant piece of art the next. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, Banksy's incorporated it into the composition of the piece, and obviously, if you take the freezer away, it doesn't quite make sense. So the freezer is an integral part of it. Hence, you know, the importance of, you know, of getting the freezer back, and hence we took it into storage because we didn't want it to go missing again. All
of which begs the question: how much is it worth?
That's a very good question. It's worth obviously what someone will pay for it.
Just finally, we know it's going to stay in Margate in the short term. Can we look further ahead than that?
Well, certainly for the next 12 months. So it's going to take probably a month to 2 months before the piece is removed successfully and installed. So, you know, we're looking at, you know, sort of middle to end of next year for it to remain in Margate. So that will allow, I think, plenty of time as an attraction to be able to draw people in. And we'll continue, obviously, you know, promoting and raising the message that the piece was first created to do so.
Julian, really interesting to talk to you today. Thank you very much for talking to us on the programme. Thank you.
No, not at all. Thank you very much. Take care.
Now we've just got time to return to our top story. It is Friday and the Banksy artwork in Margate. That's what we're talking about. We know it's being removed. It will be put on show at Dreamland. Let's go back to Joe Caution. But Joe, this has really been perplexing me. There are some pieces missing from the artwork.
Yes, to be specific, Sangeeta, there was a frying pan, a broken chair and a beer bottle here when the piece first arrived, we think, on Monday morning. The beer bottle unlikely to be recovered, the broken chair long gone. But the frying pan, we understand, the gallery have told us that an anonymous person, a bit like Banksy, has stepped forward to say they have the original frying pan that was here on Monday morning. And we expect that the frying pan will be reunited with the artwork, with the freezer, at that secret location tonight. It's unclear how much they've paid for it, but it wasn't the main piece of the artwork. The freezer and the graffiti is the main piece of the artwork. It's a huge win for Margate to have this Banksy staying in the seaside town. We know that Dreamland is going to have it for the next 12 months. Beyond then, when they find a buyer, we'll have to wait and see.